All right. I'd like to say good morning to everyone. It's great to be here this morning. We want to thank the Superintendent, Coach McGee, and the President, Superintendent of Education, Coach McGee, and Ms. Mass here this morning, allow us to come to do something for Black History Month, to let you know about the history that we have forgotten by Shannon High School. So we have the students here this morning that attended Siggers High School back in the day. They are very proud. They just want to know the importance of education and the importance of just recognizing what history is all about, because history is very important. We don't tell our story personally, anything like that, to be forgotten. So we have some unsung heroes back in the day that stepped out and just want to know what happened. They explained to me what Siggers High was all about. And today is a great day for Shannon Elementary School. We thank Ms. Blizzard, the principal of Shannon Elementary School, for allowing us to come here this morning, and just the staff all by itself. So at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Anderson to tell us exactly what Siggers High was all about back in the early days when it was just black and a white school, and when segregation came to integrate schools.
Yeah. For my young students, you hear the word people of color, you hear those words all the time. Well, a few years ago, we didn't speak like that, we just said colored and white. And we went to school separately. But if one of the reasons is this program today is very important to us, because the old Siggers High School, which was the Shannon Colored School named Siggers High School, you sitting on the original property of it. If you go to the back building and you can see the brickwork, and they will tell you that there were some volunteers that helped do that. There wasn't skilled masons that did it, but they was getting the building together. And if you walk down the walls of the old building on the outside, which was the original Shannon School building, you can see the handiwork that I'm talking about. All right, and then if you check your history a little bit, we got separate but equal, so they built us some better schools. And in 1960, they built us this part of the building. Yeah, I'm making sure I'm on the right side. This part of the building. And we had a library. All right, and one piece of history I still have, we had a big dictionary. And it sat on a platform, and I still have that platform. And I'll probably get it all professionally fixed up, and we'll put it in the library also. And I still have it. Because that was deep. When you want to know, that dictionary was big enough to have it in there. So, all right? And so we came over then. That's not me, I'm glad. All right, yeah, so we come over here in '60, we had a brand new school. We had our agriculture department, and I even followed the agriculture department over to the other school as we kind of mixed it up. And we had some nice equipment in it because our equipment was new. Now we have to understand sometimes that old equipment was a little stronger than the new, but we had it. All right. And we're glad to have this. And one thing, once the state recognized us enough to give us a resolution, enough to give us, to recognize the efforts and the effects that Shannon High School or Siggers High School had on the general public, on the area. They recognized our accomplishments and gave us a resolution for it. And we want to make sure that we proclaim it and share it with this library for the main reason you standing on the spot. And that's the one main reason. And so we wrote up a little proclamation that goes along with this, and it would be in the small writing inside of there, but those of us that understand eyeglasses and stuff, I've got it on a little bigger sheet of paper. It reads as follows: we, the greater majority of the more mature minority of the Shannon and Southwest Lee County area, are proud to recognize the major contributions and stabilizing role the Siggers High School, formerly Shannon Colored School, have played in the growth and development of this area. Within this proclamation, we proudly proclaim students nationwide, nationally, internationally, in the areas of education, entrepreneurial, political, law enforcement, lawyers, human resources, medical field, as well as the clergy, and many others that's too numerous to mention. Within this proclamation, it is the fact that the physical plant and grounds of the original colored school, Siggers High School, is where the Shannon Elementary School stands at the present. This community is proud to recognize and appreciate the state of Mississippi for its recognizing the said accomplishments of the Siggers High School with a resolution number 17. A copy of this resolution, a proclamation and resolution, will be placed in the Shannon Elementary School and the Lee County Library. We are glad to present it. The library person.
Ms. Scott. Ms. Scott.
Oh, Ms. Scott.
All right, we want to place it in your hands.
Right. On behalf of the state of Mississippi, as your state representative, Rickey Thompson, I didn't introduce myself, I'm your state representative, and this House resolution is presented to the Shannon Elementary Library, to Ms. Scott, to make sure that history always will have a place here to let the students know where Shannon High School started from, which was Siggers High School. On behalf of the students and the members of the state of Mississippi, we want to recognize Shannon Elementary Library at this time.
Look, from where we came, we used to, we go to Tupelo, they had a gym. I remember when we played basketball on what's the playground out there now, we marked off and played basketball there. And won a few games in the gravel. And so then we were blessed to get a gym. We had the floor plan and everything to play, but we had another problem. We didn't have any bleachers. So there were some chairs and we stood around, but still we was inside playing basketball and went outside. So just kind of, we want, one of our reasons I put that first line in there, because we the more mature minority. We understand from whence we came, and when we look at what we see here, it is a different story from when it was on the way up. But we also like to brag about the mere fact of the students that we can look around and see that their roots came from Shannon Colored School, Shannon Siggers High School. And we have doctors, lawyers, all of it. So if you prepared yourself, one thing we could always say, when we left Siggers High School, we didn't have to worry about having enough credits. He made sure we had enough credit. And
I think we're blessed to have y'all that have all the memories of what was actually here, because so many of these children don't know and don't have grandparents that went to school here or anything, and so the history is here for y'all to pass on, and we love it. And anytime y'all want to come and do a history lesson, I'm sure that the administrators and Ms. Scott would love for y'all to come and talk to the children. So you're welcome at any time, and things that you know we don't know. So we appreciate it.
Okay. Now, before we go, Ms. Stanley, you forgot one thing of the one we're going to present to the public library. And then as we close, I definitely want the Superintendent, Coach McGee, to have something to say, because without the staff allowing us to do, we wouldn't be able to do this. So we're going to give them an opportunity to say something also. And this is the plaque that would go to the Lee County Library in purple, which is school colors of Siggers High School. So that will go along with the to the Lee County Library. But also, this is just the beginning. As we work with the state legislature, we're gonna start working on, make sure we have a marker out front to let everybody know where Siggers High School exactly was here in Lee County.
Yeah, and we don't intend for it to be a little headstone.
Okay. All right,
I
guys.
really don't have a lot. Is there anybody else that's here this morning that would like to add from your history or what you remember, maybe a fondest thought, a fondest memory of Siggers High School?
Okay.
Anything? Please.
What I remember, our first grade, round on the back somewhere around the old school, that's where we had our first grade, and there was about, I guess, 30 or 40 kids in one grade under Miss Lulabelle Foster, and she had that whole class. And then our outing was that we had outhouses, which we don't have now. And it was very awful that we had our, but that's what we had to go through with. And then we also had to bring our trash to school to make fires with. We had these round pot belly heaters, and when we get up around the heater and got real warm, well, you know, we didn't have running water. We didn't have the inside bathroom, what have you. So the kids would be, you know, didn't really smell good, so the teacher would say, somebody take a bath the next day when they get home. So it was just a hard time, but you kids have a good opportunity now to go on and do what you want to do and what have you. But at that time, we had to get out of school and go pick cotton and come back to school the next few days. So I think you kids are just well blessed by the help of the good Lord. So appreciate it. All of us appreciate what has been done. So we have come a long ways, and we hadn't got through yet, but we have come a long ways.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just would like to say, I remember when I was in Miss Rita Trice's room. You know those kids right here, they have a good time. But here was some in there, they was about 14 and 15, and we were small kids. You wouldn't believe it, but they went to school with us. And I remember just sitting down reading. She would take time with us to help us read and everything. And you all ought to appreciate it, that you have everything at your hand, but we had to read in books, used books.
Yeah.
It have everybody's name in there, and we'd be wondering whose name was in it, but we didn't know. But now y'all have to appreciate everything. I mean, God has blessed us to be this far. So, get your lesson. As they say, get your lesson.
Fantastic.
I started here in the 7th grade. I first started school, we lived at a place called Ponticola, and that was in Pontotoc County. And I started here, I believe my teacher was Miss Mary Jones, and Miss Edith Robinson, Miss Henderson, and I believe we had, somebody already mentioned about the pot belly stove we had. If you didn't have the kindling, I think we ended up maybe burning something cold, something you remember what I'm talking about. We burnt coal. And my agriculture teacher was Professor Holloway. And let's see, I graduated from here in 1963. That's probably before some of you all were born. And I never forget, one day we were cleaning up out on the front, and our principal, Reverend Siggers, he said, well, young men, I'm going to tell y'all something. He said, it might not happen in your day. He said, but maybe your grandkids. He said, it's going to come a day, it's not going to be all black and all white schools. He said, they're going to be going to school with white, they're going to be mixed. And so the time I graduated, now my kids, let's see, I believe they went to school over here. And now you see, not only that, I have some grandkids here, and I also have some great-grands here. So, you know, that's been a while. I have some great-grands. But I say to these children, you're blessed now.
That's fine.
You come in, the building's already warm, like cold morning like this morning. It's already heated up, but we have to start at 5. You see? So you're blessed. So respect your teachers. Respect your teachers. And you make it. Thank you.
God, thank y'all so much for being here. There's no greater lesson than the lesson of history. And how blessed we are this morning to have living history with us, to learn more about where we started, where we came from, where the school started, so that we can remember and pass that history on. Thank y'all so very much for being here with us today. Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
Yes,
We
sir.
really
Thank
appreciate
you, sir.
y'all's efforts, Ms.
Appreciate it.
Anderson.
Appreciate it.